tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi in sign language. Elizabeth Nakakuni, let's dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni sent a condolence message We apologize for that. Welcome to News Tonight. Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Let's dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has sent a condolence message to the family of the late blogger Ibrahim Tusubira, also known as Jaja Ichuli, who was gunned down by unknown assailants over the weekend. Jaja Ichuli, who was laid to rest last Sunday at his ancestral home in Nkokonjeru, Mukono district, was shot dead on Saturday night while heading to his home in Chanja Central Zone, Kampala suburb. He was traveling in his Toyota Hiace car, famously known as Drone. President Museveni's condolence message was delivered by the State House Controller, Jane Bareche. It was handed to the Olaxes father, Haji Mohammed Kasaja, and mother, Hajat Kasaja, at their home in Zana along Entebbe Road. Bareche told the bereaved family that the president was hurt and condemned the murder of Isma. Olaxes, he assured the deceased family that perpetrators will be traced and punished. Haji Kasaja thanked President Museveni for the message and for treating the late Isma Olaxes as his son. In his eulogy message issued yesterday, President Museveni condemned and treated with contempt the killing of Isma by murderers he described as pigs.
Yani chimuluma nnyo kuntuma n'agamba gendo bavuze famire eyo nga State House Controller era nenzija nendeeta amugo nendeetedde omwami ino taata we era atulumye nnyo Isma omaze eggwanga naffe ne tujja okukwasa President n'atuba okukwasako famire eno mu bulumi obwo nendeeta amabugo gemulabye nga aleetera era tugenda kubasabira ffenna ng'eggwanga tusabira famire eno Mukama agigumye agibeere mu bino ebiro byeyitamu.
Nzamuluka ekisoboka Afrika wano amanya agambe nzeera Muhammad Kasajja okuweebwa omukisa okutwala obuvunaanyizibwa pulezidenti bwakoze n'aba nga afuuyiridde wamu ne famire yange kubanga Isma abadde nga mutabani we n'aba nti afaayo okutwala obuvunaanyizibwa ajja kubagize nga yanyoleddwa wamu naffe. Mwebaza nnyo kino kyakoze yaba nga asindise mubaka mulamba okujja okutuusa obubaka ankubagize ndi musanyufu.
Meanwhile, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among has appealed to government to address the recent increase in the use of gun violence. This follows the recent shooting to death of State Minister for Labour, Colonel Charles Engola, and social media guru Ibrahim Tusubira, also known as Ismail Olaxes. This concern was raised during a special sitting of Parliament to honour fallen legislator and minister, Colonel Charles Engola.
This is his last appearance at the Ugandan Parliament. While here, retired Colonel Charles Engola served as both legislator and Minister of State for Labour, Employment and Industrial Relations. His remains have been received by the Speaker of Parliament for Parliament to pay tribute. Fellow members of Parliament assembled to honor the selfless public servant as wreaths were laid. The selflessness in him came to the light.
He developed interest to contest for elective position, but because of his, he did not want to accept. It was his brother, Honorable Sam Engola, who is seated there, who had to come to negotiate for his promotion and retirement from the army for him to contest as LC5 chairman, Apache district. And when he contested, he won with 93%.
Engola served Uganda People's Defense Forces up to the rank of colonel before retirement. His role in restoring peace from the Joseph Kony-led LRA rebels is remembered to date.
A brave soldier who joined the military in 1979, according to the army records, at the age of 21, and rose through the ranks from private to full colonel at the time of his retirement in 2005, after 26 years of distinguished service to his motherland.
And when we toured Oyam for closing the IDP camps, the Honorable Professor Tassis Kabwejere recognized then commandant of 501 command post for the job well done, and that was Honorable Engola, whom we worked with the professor to close the IDP camps.
These eulogies were a culmination of the Speaker's communication. In it was a concern on the increase in the use of gun violence.
We may differ in terms of religion, politics, and whichever, but I don't think that is the best thing to do. No one has a right to take one's life under any circumstance. It's God that creates and God takes. There is only an ultimate end, that there's time to be born and time to die. We shouldn't be killed with a gun. And I think we really need to call all Ugandans that let's live, much as we may disagree, let's live in harmony.
This communication was followed by a motion for Parliament to pay respect to Colonel Charles Engola. It was moved by the Prime Minister, seconded by the Leader of Opposition and the Dean of Independence.
Charles Engola answered the highest call of serving his country as a professional soldier. He was a war hero and played a fundamental role in the pacification of the northern part of this country.
It is sad that retired Colonel Charles Engola has passed on at a critical time when he are yet to conclusively deal with the regulation of labor externalization that was so close to his heart.
Macho Dogo would not be in a casket right now, but because the man who pulled the trigger against him did not live for making the world a better place to be, we are here today in this situation.
They all pointed towards the rareness of the deceased, with a call on Ugandans to be civil in their eulogies.
Our role is state building. State building is not a partisan task. It demands the joining of hands. It demands that we talk to each other and listen to each other. This country is hurting, Madam Speaker. We need to repent to those we have wronged and to forgive those who have wronged us. Only true reconciliation can secure our collective future. We are all in the same boat as Ugandans. You may think you have a plan B, but there is no country B. Madam Speaker, there is no safe house, there is no safe room in a burning house. Let's keep Uganda safe from any fire. Thank you.
Colonel Charles Engola was killed on Tuesday, 2nd May 2023 by bodyguards, now late Private Wilson Sabiti, a UPDF soldier. At the time of his death, he was the State Minister for Labour and also Member of Parliament for Oyam North County in Oyam District. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Now, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among has expressed dismay towards a section of Ugandans who jubilate over other people's death. Her message was re-echoed by Lieutenant General James Mugira, who also warned a section of social media alarmists who cause anarchy and baseless speculation. This was during the special sitting at Parliament to pay tribute to the deceased State Minister for Labour, Charles Engola.
On 2nd May 2023, the State Minister for Labour, Employment and Industrial Relations, retired Colonel Charles Patrick Engola Machodogo, was shot dead by his bodyguard Private Wilson Sabiti at his home in Chanja, a Kampala suburb. Retired Colonel Charles Patrick Engola was shot just a day after Labour Day. With mockery, sections of the public went on social media platforms to jubilate over the death of the minister rather than condole with the bereaved family.
I want to express a displeasure with unfortunate practice in this country where people celebrate the misfortune of those they don't agree with. It is inhuman.
During today's special sitting to pay tribute to the fallen minister, Speaker of Parliament Anita Among expressed concern over the growing negative attitude and disrespect of the dead by a section of Ugandans.
It is also uncultured and very immoral to celebrate the death of anyone because you hold different or divergent views. Beyond our different political, religious, and affiliations, we are all humans.
The Speaker's message was re-echoed by the Director, National Enterprise Corporation, Lieutenant James Mugira.
The National Resistance Army, which I have now served for almost 40 years, has never been a mercenary force. Our service to our motherland has always been and is out of patriotism and ideological conviction.
Mugira condemned the act of mockery by a section of Ugandans who celebrated when the minister died.
So the assassination of the minister cannot just be reduced to an issue of raw salary and allowances. This is indiscipline period. Yes, there could be, and indeed, are issues to be addressed, but please, let us not sow seeds of anarchy, hatred, fear, and animosity.
Mugira warned the public against making baseless speculations in such times and to desist from patronizing the UPDF army and also watering down their sacrifice.
In the military, we don't speculate. That's why before any military operation, we carry out reconnaissance on the enemy to establish the exact enemy strength in terms of personnel and equipment, the enemy locations and intentions, etc. I, therefore, enjoin and beseech Ugandans out there, stop speculation. An official board of inquiry has been set up. Let us wait for its findings.
He, on the contrary, applauded Colonel Charles Engola for his contribution towards recovery of peace in northern Uganda, triumph in all his assignments and missions assigned to him in the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan.
We are paying tribute to a valiant commander who played a prominent role during counterinsurgency operations in northern Uganda, in the Menakuru area, and as a brigade commander of the Opit-based 501 Brigade, which earned him the praise name Machodogo, meaning fire is back.
At the time of his death, Minister Charles Engola had made tremendous contributions towards realignment of the labor externalization companies, including cancellation of licenses of unscrupulous companies.
He was also exploring and negotiating for new opportunities for employment of migrant workers abroad. And he had sat with the Association of Migrant Workers and others to look at the market in Europe.
Born on 12th October 1958, Colonel Charles Engola Machodogo died at the age of 65. He will be laid to rest in his home district of Oyam on Saturday 13th May 2023. Susan Naunga reporting for ABC TV.
Now, following the fatal floods in southwestern Uganda, where at least 20 people were reported dead, the president has directed 5 million shillings be given to each family that lost a person and 1 million shillings for each family for the injured persons. Prime Minister Robin Nabanja has chaired an interministerial meeting to discuss the response so far taken and to plan for a permanent solution to disasters.
This move was a short-term measure as government prepares a comprehensive program to produce a permanent solution. Today, the Prime Minister, Right Honorable Robin Nabanja, chaired an interministerial meeting to discuss responses so far taken and to plan for a permanent solution to the disasters.
We need to look for solutions. This time round, the western part of the country has suffered with flash floods, mudslides, and some roads are cut off. Our people are homeless, and we have lost many lives. I'm told, as of yesterday, the number was 17, as of yesterday. So we lost 10 in Kisoro, 3 in Lukonjiri, I'm told 1 from Kasese, and the other areas.
On 2nd and 3rd May 2023, Kisoro district experienced above normal rains that caused heavy flooding and landslides. The floods left crops, livestock, houses and other infrastructures such as roads destroyed.
Immediate, we need to give relief. The office of the Prime Minister has already dispatched a number of vehicles that have gone to the western part of the country. The Army has also provided us with vehicles to beef with ours because we have 4 trucks. The Army is helping us with 10 trucks so that we can deliver relief.
Line ministries such as Works, Water and Health briefed the meeting on how far they have responded to the recent disasters.
We are now in the emergency phase. So the purpose of my going to Kigesi was to make sure that the roads that were cut off are motorable. An ambulance can pass, the Minister of Water can pass with the water bowser, we can pass with the relief. And I'm happy to report to you, honorable colleagues here, that some work has started. The obstacles that were there have to a great extent been removed. We can now move, our trailers can move from Mombasa to Chanika, can move from Mombasa to Bodanganda.
Colleagues, I think this is now the moment of truth, that we need to handle the issue of environment to have a solution to all these problems. Your roads will not be swept always around.
On the medicines for malaria and other communicable diseases, NMS is right now distributing, and yesterday I actually saw messages of distribution.
The Office of the Prime Minister, working closely with the Kisoro District Disaster Management Committees, completed a rapid response report to establish the magnitude of the disaster and arranged delivery of relief aid to the affected communities.
The most disturbing districts in the Rwenzori today are Bundibujo, Kasese, and Kisoro. And the challenge we're having is like government tries to intervene. Like Kisoro right now, I was talking to my sister yesterday. If we plan today that we are relocating people, where are we locating them within Kisoro? That's where the problem is, because all the land is fragmented.
We need a Ministry of Works to do continuous maintenance of our roads, fill the potholes that have come up so that our people can move. Then open up roads that are blocked. The ministries are going, the district, the Ministry of Finance is going to support us with some little money to make sure that the districts at least get 100 million each, especially those districts which have been affected in Kigezi and Rwenzori.
A group compromising of ministers has been established to carry out oversight monitoring. The oversight monitoring will be carried out in the districts of Kisoro, Rubanda, Ruchiga, Kasese, Kanungu, Ntoroko, Mbale, and Rukunjiri. Dorina Sasra reporting for UBC News.
And relatedly, Ministry of Water and Environment will look at the catchment-based approach like construction of terraces to reduce the challenge of flooding in the Rwenzori region as a result of River Semileki busting its banks. Protecting river banks has not proved sufficient on its own. Now, the Commissioner of Water, Resources, Planning and Regulation, Dr. Kalist Tindimugaya, says government developed flood management strategy of having institutions come together, an integrated water resources management plan and a catchment plan for rivers in Rwenzori region.
A week back, River Semileki in Rwenzori region exploded, bursting its banks. This culminated into running of huge volumes of water, flooding human settlements along the River Semileki basin. The disaster left scores homeless, breaking down road networks, destroying crops, affecting the nomadic lifestyle of pastoralists, and submerging education infrastructure. This incident follows the 2020 and 2021, in which rising water levels of Lake Albert displaced many in the districts of Ntoroko, Bulisa and Hoima, while in Teso sub-region, Lake Choga displaced many, and in Central region, Lake Victoria also submerged many homesteads along the Victoria and Nile Basin. However, in the Semileki Valley of Ntoroko, stretching down to Bondibojo, an estimated number of 600 people and 10 villages were affected by this disaster. This persistent problem is being attributed to the effect of climate change, rivers clogged with silt, and environmental degradation.
So that comes from up the hills. Many of the hills are bare. Many of those areas which are contributing water have been deforested. Agricultural practices have made the land bare. So when the water comes, it is coming at a very, very, very high speed. And it is coming with a lot of silt in some areas, with a lot of rocks. And because they are coming the water is coming at a very high speed and with a lot of material in there, then the power to destroy is even higher. So
the Ministry of Water and Environment believes in a collective action to implement the floods management strategy that will address environmental disasters.
Being an organization, a ministry like Ministry of Water and Environment, if it is tree planting, let's plant trees so that we improve the tree cover. If it is Ministry of Agriculture and we are talking about good agricultural practices, then the Ministry of Agriculture should support the farmers and the communities to practice good farming practices, soil and water conservation, so that we reduce the speed of water. If it is Ministry of Works, they should design bridges and culverts in such a way that they are big enough to allow the water to flood plains, and we are also protecting these flood plains. We are demarcating them, and in some areas we have been planting bamboo to mark and also put their pillars so that people can know the area they shouldn't settle in. But in many areas we find that people have arrogantly refused to get out of the flood plain. Flood plains will always flood.
Government has supported communities living around Mount Rwenzori with activities that will help in addressing floods and landslide disasters.
We are even getting the water and support them to irrigate outside the river banks. So that is going to be solved by one solution. We need a multiplicity of solutions, but it has to involve the people, the local people, it has to involve the local leaders and the various stakeholders. Otherwise, the situation is going to get worse. So in some areas also developing early warning systems that people can be warned so that they can go away. That's where we are working with the Uganda Meteorological Authority to come up with early warning systems.
Dr. Kalist says The ministry will focus on catchment-based approach by developing a plan for all the rivers in Rwenzori region and other flood-prone regions. River Nyamwamba will be case study in addressing flood disasters along the Semliki River.
We are employing what we call a catchment-based approach. That look at where the water is coming from, look at where the water is going, and try to take action in different locations depending on what is needed. Maybe where the water is coming from, we can put there some small dams that store the water and release the water. We can plant the trees that they hold the soil. River Nyamwamba used to flood every year and kill people. We have now activities where we have been cleaning the river, removing materials in the river so the water can flow. We have protected the banks. Now, not using the live markers, the bamboo, but we have also protected them using gabions. In addition to putting there the live markers, the bamboo.
The floods did not spare the project to restore the banks on River Semliki, which was started in 2018, where a Natural Resources Defense Initiative was contracted by Ministry of Water and Environment, Afka Farida and Stephen Kalisia.
The Cabinet plans to establish a new food, animal and plant health authority under the Ministry of Agriculture, separate from National Drug Authority under the Health Ministry. Cabinet has also ordered for a team to assess the damage caused by heavy rains in Kigezi sub-region and in Toroko, while East Africa member states have chosen Uganda to host the headquarters of the independent regulatory body.
The Cabinet of Uganda has announced its intention to create a new food, animal and plant health authority under the Ministry of Agriculture as part of proposed changes to the National Drug Policy and Authority Act.
That we took a decision to separate the human drugs from the veterinary drugs.
The new authority will regulate veterinary medicines, vaccines, devices, agrochemicals, and other therapeutic products for animal and plant health. It will be separate from the National Drug Authority, which is responsible for regulating human medicine, vaccines, devices, public health products, nutritional supplements, and supplies.
But of course we have the third agency, UNBS, the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. It will continue to regulate the remaining products, except those which are regulated by the National Drug Authority or the new proposed authority under Ministry of Agriculture or any other specialized agency that is established by law.
Cabinet has directed a team to assess the damage caused by heavy rainfall in the Kigezi sub-region and Toroko, where at least 23 people have been reported dead. This assessment will mobilize relief support for affected communities.
And we continue to appeal to the public that there are effects of climate change that continue to affect all of us, like these heavy rains, but also in a number of areas like Kigezi, like Bugisu, and other parts of eastern Uganda, like Kasese and the Rwenzori region. We would like to appeal to the people to shift from the slopes of these mountains.
In another development, countries in the East African community have agreed to station the headquarters of the Independent Regulatory Board for the region's power pool under the Ministry of Energy in Uganda. Marion Awori and Ivan Kahwa for UBC.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256 GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha! Toakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3 GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months, so you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100*5# to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes, hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Calling you from the mobile service center.
Okay. So how can I help you?
Well, we have noticed a few things wrong with your number and need your mobile money PIN.
Ton Ferrer, never give out your password or PIN to any caller. Your mobile service provider will never call or ask for your personal details. If in doubt, go to your nearest phone service center.
This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. The Office of the Prime Minister has confirmed that in its 7th to 8th year of implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 2023, it has 50% progress towards the achievement of the goals as Uganda government tries its best to fulfill its obligation to attain nearly all the SDGs. Director SDG Knowledge Management at the Office of the Prime Minister, Onesmus Kansime, said the revelation at that's Onesmus Kansime made the revelation at a press conference held in Mbarara City ahead of the annual SDGs conference scheduled to take place this month under the theme Promoting Inclusive National and Continental Action for Accelerating Delivery on SDGs Agenda 2023.
That sustainable development should be a people's concern. People in local government, people living in the villages, people, the young people, people living with disabilities, the women, because these sustainable development goals, the first goal is to make sure that we end poverty, and that affects everyone. Is to make sure that we end hunger. Hunger affects everyone, including people at the grassroots levels. Is to make sure that everyone accesses good health services, quality education, to make sure that gender equality prevails. At the moment, in our 7th to 8th year of implementation, we are at 50% in progress towards the achievement of the targets that of the Sustainable Development Goals. From the data that we have, on the indicators applicable to Uganda. There is progress that has been made in each goal, and the government of Uganda has taken steps to make sure that we achieve the 2030 agenda. Second SDG conference is slated for the 22nd, 23rd of June 2023 under the theme Promoting Inclusive, National and Continental Actions for Accelerated Delivery on the SDGs and the Agenda 2063. The guest of honor will be His Excellency the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa. Before the conference, we shall have regional events in the Western region, hosted by Mbalala City from 16th to 18th May. We shall have the Eastern region, hosted by the Jinja City from the 23rd to the 25th of May 2023. We shall have the Central region in Mubende District from 30th May to 1st June 2023. We shall have the Northern region hosted by Lira City from the...
Meanwhile, the torrential rains being experienced in eastern and western regions of the country have caused floods that have led to loss of lives, destruction of property and infrastructure. Our reporter Diana Kuti looks at the primary and secondary health effects of flooding on people's lives.
The impact of climate change manifests in forms of above normal rainfall and prolonged dry spells. This season, some districts in eastern and western Uganda are experiencing erratic rainfall, resulting in mudslides, destruction of infrastructure and household property. The Commissioner of Environmental Health in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Herbert Nabassa, explains the health impact of household flooding.
And when you have flooding, you have most of these latrine facilities collapsing. When they collapse, it means that the fecal matter is directly getting into the water. And when you have the water being contaminated with the fecal matter, you have the disease outbreaks like cholera, the dysentery, and all other sanitation and hygiene related diseases. So that has a huge implication because these outbreaks come with the cost on treatment, it comes with the lost time in terms of productive time, it comes with even death at times.
Dr. Nabassa explains that people who have been affected by household floods need to ensure high levels of hygiene.
The house has been flooded. We believe everything in the house is now contaminated, okay? From the cooking utensils, to the other things in the house, the clothes and all that. So you need to manage it as a response mechanism by first of all ensuring that you have adequate washing of the things you use for cooking, for drinking, for eating. Thorough wash with boiled water and soap. And then all the other items like clothes and others, as long as they have been mixed up in the water that has entered the house, you need to remove them, thoroughly wash them, dry them up on a sunny day, and then have them back for use. And so it is just a normal practice of individual responsibility in the household.
Past and current experiences show that floods have a direct impact on human health. Therefore, government needs to plan for both mitigative and adaptive responses.
So it would be good to have the contingency plans, the disaster response plans, the preparedness plans all ready and with the resources availed so that should an occurrence happen, we immediately swing into action.
Uganda Red Cross Society preliminary assessment shows that more than 13,000 people have been displaced by floods in different districts that include Bulambuli, Kayunga, Katakwi, Kanungu, Ntoroko, Chisoro and Kasese. Adia Nakote, UBC.
Meanwhile, security has been heightened at the Lira High Court after more than 30,000 Christians from Lango sub-region gathered at the courthouse to protest vandalism of their homes and churches. While the case is still pending, the protesters called upon government, the Ministry of Lands and the Judiciary to intervene. Meanwhile, the presiding judge urged them to remain calm.
The crowd came from 6 districts of Lango sub-region: Lira, Dokolo, Amolata, Aleptongo to mention but a few, and camped at Lira High Court as early as 6 in the morning, demanding for an eviction injunction to their alleged premises. Lining up in queues, they stormed the Lira High Court premises and filled the courtyard. Shortly afterwards, Judge Duncan Gaswaga arrived to conduct his normal assignments, only to be shocked by the crowd that waited outside. He therefore called on the security forces to save the situation. Police led by Lira DPC Joseph Bakaleke and the army failed to control the crowds. Law enforcers asked leaders of the crowd to let the judge start the day's proceedings. When court started, Judge Duncan Gaswaga adjourned for 10 minutes to order people to leave the court premises.
Your clients have taken over my court, and I just cannot allow that to happen. I want to transact my business in a very free environment. I want to be very clear. So I am not going to do anything until all those people out there have moved the mayor's garden.
Judge Gaswaga had the appeal filed by their lawyers Gerard Otuku and Emmanuel Chigenyi.
I am going to ask the registrar immediately court rises to find out whether there are executions taking place on the ground.
Judge Gaswaga later adjourned the case till 29th of this month.
Yeah, I informed the court that court is giving us dates for hearing injunctory remedies at one hand, and on one hand issuing eviction orders, warrant of execution, which is really bringing the tension and fears or fairing up emotions of people, and it explains why they are here in big numbers.
The crowd headed to one of the churches amidst holding placards with the messages of complaint around Lira town, and the traffic was disrupted due to the traffic jam.
That was constructed way back in 90. Who are the people who constructed this church? The court should come and find out before passing any judgment. I'm not happy.
The RCC Lira City Lawrence Engola urged the people to remain calm and wants court to stop the demolition of homes.
This court battle went through stages, and I think it reached even the Court of Appeal. But then it has always come back, and now, as you have seen, the Christians, the faithful of these churches, feel they have not yet got justice, and they have turned up in these big numbers. We are here as security to first of all assure them that this case is already before the courts of law, and the law is taking its course.
Recently, some of these people came to Kampala to complain to the chief clerk of the court about the way the clerk of Lira Court handled their case. Amwai Vanjuko for UBC.
Katosa village in Kenjejo district is the origin and ancestral home of martyrdom Saint Adolf Ludigo Tibyalira, who was killed in 1895 on the orders of Kabaka Mwanga during the religious wars and was laid to rest at Namugongo Martyrs Ground. However, a martyr's shrine has been built at Katosa village and named Katosa Martyrs Shrine in memory of the martyrdom Saint Adolf Ludigo. But most hurting to the priests of Katosa village, the youth have turned the martyr's shrine into a home for sexual encounters. Now, in this report, despite the sexual immorality conducted in Katosa village, I beg your pardon, that's in Katosa Martyrs Shrine, the place remains miraculous to many pilgrims, but the caretakers have appealed to government to avail resources to enclose the shrine that remains exposed to everyone.
Katosa Martyr's Shrine was identified in 1964 as a holy point of pilgrims after the canonization of martyrdom. St. Adolf Ludigo, one of the Uganda martyrs. He was born and raised at this village of Katosa before he got entangled in religious wars of 1895 and killed at Namugongo on the orders of Kabaka Mwanga for believing and accepting to die for his faith. Many Christians and pilgrims who often frequent this place towards the commemoration of the Martyrs' Day think that martyrdom St. Adolf Ludigo was killed at Katosa village. However, Reverend Father Venesia Usowaze, the Katosa parish priest, says this was his place of origin.
We continue to tell people that Adolf was not martyred here. Actually, some pilgrims and tourists, when they come to this place, they want to see the spot where he was buried. He was not buried here. He was martyred in Namugongo.
St. Adolf Ludigo and his sister Nyanjura were captured while grazing animals by Buganda raiders who used to move to different areas and were taken to Uganda as captives. Despite knowing that martyrdom St. Adolf was among the many martyrs killed in the religious wars in 1895, nothing is about her sister Nyanjura.
Because when he was taken, I think he was married off, and then this one was much is known about him because he was taken into King's Palace, became a Christian, and then was martyred together with other Uganda martyrs in Namugongo.
However, Katosa village, where St. Ludigo hailed from, is gifted with magnificent and natural rocks engraved with 22 Uganda martyrs' names which symbolize unity. St. Adolf Ludigo exhibited with other martyrs. The rocks here represent different saints and many pilgrims, and Christians who visit the place are bow down to worship them as a sign of solidarity and faith they hold in those who died for their belief.
So I came to pray so that by the time I reach the D-Day, I ename as Jude.
And indeed these saints, when you are praying, each saint represents something different. Your prayer faith, you say if it is I want this, I want this.
However, the place is facing a number of challenges. Bordering on its reputation, many of the youths here have turned the holy place into an avenue for sexual immorality.
That's why we want, as a first priority and as a first step of developing this place, to have this place fenced and really kept cordoned to safe. Because people get temptations, young people get temptations to come because it is serene, it is quiet, it's good. They want to come and make love in this place.
However, the Catholic Church has a strategic plan to develop the place into a religious tourist destination center. Speaking in an interview, Reverend Father Venesia revealed that developing Katosa Martyr's Shrine will cost 22 billion Ugandan shillings. As Uganda is set to commemorate the Uganda Martyrs' Day on June 3rd, Christians and pilgrims are urged to have time and make their way to Katosa Shrine to commemorate St. Adolf Ludigo. Shaidat Nasaku, Sulaka Gugube, UBC News.
Well, with that, we take a quick break. We return with business news.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Now in business news, Uganda has been recognized and awarded as the best investment destination in East Africa region. That's at the annual investment meeting in Abu Dhabi, UAE. The award was received by the Director of Uganda Investment Authority, Robert Mukiza, at the ceremony held on Monday this week at the Emirates Palace Hotel.
The annual investment meeting Global 2023 Investment Awards aimed at recognizing the best performing investment promotion agencies across the globe.
Fantastic award. Uganda Investment Authority wins award for the best investment in East Africa. So why we won it? We bought the best investment in East Africa. So Uganda is a premier investment destination in the region as per this award.
They've tremendously grown in the last 4 years. For example, in 2018, foreign direct investments from UAE to Uganda were worth $600 million US, but as of last year, it has grown to $3 billion US.
Uganda has attracted more than $1 billion US in foreign direct investments from the UAE over the past 18 months, according to the Ugandan embassy in the UAE. A delegation from Uganda, which is being led by the Ugandan embassy in Abu Dhabi, is participating in the annual investment meeting, which kicked off in Abu Dhabi on May 8th and will run until May 10th. The aim is to attract foreign direct investment and promote Uganda's exports and tourism.
I give you a picture. In 2000, we were not even bringing here even $30 million US. But as we talk now, we are exceeding $2 billion US and of exports. So Nile Patch is number 2. We are bringing fruits and vegetables, we are promoting coffee, we are promoting tea, we are promoting minerals, and while we are here, we are looking at a relationship. We don't want only to promote export.
Investors who want to come to Uganda, we want to make the conditions easier for them. We facilitate them to go through all the processes, to get the licenses very quickly so they can establish free zones in Uganda.
The annual investment meeting, a leading platform for investors in the world, is being held under the theme, The Investment Paradigm Shift Future Investment Opportunities to Foster Sustainable Economic Growth, Diversity and Prosperity. Over 170 countries have taken part in this global investment meeting and exhibition. Uganda's participation in the annual investment meeting Global 2023 aims at attracting foreign direct investments to the country's vital economic sectors, increasing the private sector contribution to boosting sustainable development and increasing the nation's GDP.
Get the licenses very quickly.
Giants in schools competition have showed why they deserve qualification to the next round with a win in their numerous games as the Fresh Derby Senior Secondary Games kick started. The games are hosted by Ntale Senior Secondary School.
Hundreds of students gathered at Ntale School to witness the official opening of the Fresh Day Senior Secondary Games, launched officially Students who came from as far as Karamoja region are competing throughout the entire week before the champion in women football, basketball, badminton, rugby, tennis are announced. The Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, who was the chief guest, held the level of competition and the talent identification drive through sports.
I commend and salute all the schools that did their best to participate at various levels of the championship. It has been through hard work, commitment, sacrifice, and discipline that schools were able to raise teams that came this far. I congratulate all those schools.
On day 2, Giants in sports impressed. In boys basketball, Budo defeated Ndeje SS 51-34, Naumali fell to host Ntale Senior Secondary School 55-34, while Aga Khan defeated St. Joseph Laibi.
The two games we've played have been good. We've won 2 and still more to come. Our pool is a little bit tricky. We have 4 teams which are vying for 2 slots. As you know, we are going direct to the quarterfinals, and I think our pool is a little bit composed. We have teams which are very composed, and it's going to be a very rough week for us.
In ladies basketball, St. Noah continue to show prowess and why they always compete in the East African Games, defeating Jija SS 66-28. Chambogo College lost to Holy Cross, while Nyakasura defeated Kakira SS. In table tennis girls, Mbogo College defeated Trinity College Nabingo. Mbogo Mixed won Mount St. Mary's Namugunga, while Kawanda SS defeated Mayo Hill. Action resumes Wednesday in rugby, basketball, and women football. Ngabo Emon reporting for UBS TV.
Well, that does it for News Tonight. We do return at 10 o'clock with more details, but for now, we'll leave you with the weather update. Elizabeth Nakakoni on Sign Language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi.
Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Kutesa Milu with your weather update. We woke up with light and showers in some parts of the country. The most of the areas who had sunny intervals and afternoon hours picked up light showers. Seeing the satellite pictures, we are having a ridging over the tip of South Africa, pushing in the moist winds in combination with the east breeze, bring us the thunder showers that we are having lately. Tomorrow morning, we expect to wake up with thunder showers dominating most parts of the central, and looking out for the eastern stretch, we are having still light showers apart from Kasese and Kabalisarawas, meaning western. The eastern part of our country is going to have thunder showers, most dominating part of it, and the northern sector with light showers. Moving out to afternoon hours, we are having light showers dominating still central part of our country, reaching 27 degrees Celsius on Nakasongola, our capital city Kampala with 27, western stretch with thunder showers at maximum 29 degrees Celsius across Kasese and 28 across Masindi. Moving into eastern, we are still continuing with thunder showers at a maximum 26 degrees Celsius dominating most part of it. Apart from Salt, we are seeing a 27 northern part of our country. In the evening hours, we are seeing still thunder showers dominating most parts of it, and temperature to raise up to 29 degrees Celsius. Is moving out of Kampala toward the cities across the globe. We are forecasting thunder showers across Nairobi at a maximum 25 degrees Celsius. In New York with sunny conditions with 16 degrees Celsius. Looking out for London still with light showers, and Cairo with cloudy conditions at a maximum 33 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Kutesa Milingawa. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.